Certain items remind me to live a little. Three things that are important to me are, first, my backpacking gear, second, my dog, and third, my bucket list book. Let's get started with my first thing, my backpacking gear. So my backpacking gear isn't always the same or set in stone. It's instead something that varies and changes over time. I try to save up money so that I can buy new, improved, and lighter weight gear so that as time goes on I can lighten the load of my pack. I first started building up my collection of backpacking gear in the 6th grade when I started going on weekend backpacking trips with some friends. And now my gear reminds me to get out and go on all kinds of adventures to explore the world. My backpacking gear took me on my first long distance trip of 50 miles in the Sangre de Cristo Mountains of New Mexico. This wasn't the same pack that I took with me, but a lot of the gear inside is what accompanied me on that trip. Another long distance trip that I took was the 93-mile Wonderland Trail that encircles the base of Mount Rainier. I did that trip with two of my friends the summer after my 9th grade year as one of their graduation parties, actually, so that was pretty fun. And this is the exact pack that I took with me on that trip. Now for my second thing, my dog. I decided to use this stuffed animal that kind of resembles him because it was a little too hard to get him in the shot with me. So his name is Riley and he is almost 4 years old. I picked him up at the Kent Humane Society about 3 years ago and he's been by my side ever since. My dog Riley is a yellow lab and he loves to eat food. So much food. So he does a lot with me and he does backpacking trips with me occasionally, but mostly he goes on weekend hikes with me. He also helps me to get up and about throughout the day, and I take him on morning walks, afternoon walks, or sometimes both, depending on how energetic he is in that day. And he reminds me to get out of the house and to give myself a little break, to give my mind a little mental clarity, and to distress a little bit. Now, I've talked about my backpacking gear and my dog. So for my third thing and final thing, my bucket list book. So I started this book back in elementary school, and that's when I first learned about the concept of a bucket list, and I just thought it was really cool to kind of collect everything you want to do into one place. So since then, I've continued to add to this book and check things off as time has gone by and as I've experienced things in my life. This book is where I want to keep track of everything I want to do and experience in my life, and it holds all the places that I want to travel to and explore in the world, and it also helps me keep track of all of my life goals that I want to, attain. And it gives me something to look forward to and to work towards in my life. In conclusion, certain items remind me to live a little. I've talked about three things. My backpacking gear. For example, this is the gear that accompanied me on a lot of backpacking trips, and it reminds me to get out and to explore the natural beauties of our world. Second, my dog. For example, he is my sidekick and he does everything with me throughout the day. And third, my bucket list book. For example, this is the item that I keep, and it reminds me to look forward to the future and to what all I'm going to experience throughout my life.